Welcome to the travel guide for Siesta Key, Florida, where the sand is soft, the waters are blue, and a charming beach village is waiting for you. We're Jamie and Skylar, and we're here to show you around this entire 8-mile key. From the beaches to the village, you'll see the best of what this laid-back island paradise has to offer, and your Siesta Key tour starts right now. This day on Siesta begins by crossing over the Siesta Key North Bridge, one of two bridges which connect the island to mainland Sarasota. Once on the island, we followed the signs to the village, where nearby we'd be making our first beach stop of the day at Beach Access number 5, the closest access to the south end of Siesta Village. Beach Access number 5 offers parking for 20 to 30 vehicles, but is primarily accessed via foot from vacationers in the village. Although the parking lot was full, the wide beach was still pretty empty at 9 a.m. on this sunny Saturday in late April. And while this section of beach is certainly worthy of spending a day at, a storm was on its way and we had a few more beaches to take you to, so it was time to move on a little further to the south. Our second beach stop of the day took us to 402 Beach Road, where you'll find Beach Access number 7.
Now there are several public beach accesses north of the main Siesta Beach area. We're showing you access number 5 and number 7, and around 9 o'clock already, access 5 was completely full, and we're getting close to 10, and number 7 is getting full as well. So if you want to snag a spot at one of these beach accesses, you're gonna have to get here early, especially on a Saturday like today. But the good news is if you do find a spot, it's gonna be free. We also want to point out though that these public accesses do require quite a bit of walking to get to the beach, and they don't have any amenities, but we will show you where you want to go if you want to be on Siesta Beach with amenities later on.
But before we show you the main beach accesses just to the south, we gotta show you what the beach looks like here at access number 7. And as you can see, it was beautiful and not the least bit busy. But with so much more still to show you, we had to keep moving. Before we take you to our next beach stop, we're going to head a few blocks north to the village to show you a couple of the very best spots to grab some food and drinks. And since a great day on Siesta Key starts with a great breakfast, our first stop is the Sun Garden Cafe. Tucked away on Avenida Madera towards the north end of the village, Sun Garden Cafe is pretty easy to miss. In fact, it took us several visits to Siesta Key before we even knew it existed. Sun Garden offers a good amount of outdoor seating where visitors can enjoy the fresh Gulf breeze in this beautiful garden setting. But if it's a warm, muggy morning like this one was turning out to be, you might want to opt for some cool AC. Our visit to Sun Garden started off with a latte, which was good, but a bit on the weaker side for our taste. Our food orders came out incredibly quickly and looking absolutely mouth-watering. I ordered the Mississippi Queen, which included fried chicken and waffles with bacon and a mango habanero sauce. Skylar opted for the Cajun Benedict, which came with blackened mahi, Gulf shrimp, and crawfish. Both dishes were unique and absolutely amazing. We especially enjoyed the mango habanero sauce on the fried chicken and pretty much everything about the Cajun Benedict. Sun Garden Cafe offers a lunch menu as well and is open from 7:30 to 1:30 daily.
So if you watched our first Siesta Key travel guide video, you might remember that we ate at the Village Cafe, which is right across the street from the Sun Garden Cafe. And in that video, we were really struggling on deciding which place to go for breakfast because they are both so good. So we were so excited to finally be able to take you to the Sun Garden Cafe today. And that breakfast was excellent. We especially enjoyed the Cajun Benedict. It was one of the best breakfast dishes we've had in a long time.
Our next stop in the village is anything but a hidden gem. In fact, it's perhaps the most well-known spot in all of Siesta Village. And while the word may be out on this spot, it's still absolutely worth a visit to Siesta Key Oyster Bar. Located at 5238 Ocean Boulevard, visitors to Siesta Key Oyster Bar will find an awesome old Florida vibe, daily live music, and a large food menu including award-winning wings and, of course, oysters. But if you just ate a huge brunch like we did and have no room for food, they have plenty of great drink choices as well. In fact, on Saturdays they have a $6 rum special, which of course Skylar just couldn't pass up. I was happy to find that they offer 4 mocktail options as well, and found my Siesta Sunset to be sweet and refreshing.
Now Siesta Key Oyster Bar is one of the most well-known establishments in the village. They're known for having great food, live music, and also their incredibly unique atmosphere.
Another thing I really love about Siesta Key Oyster Bar is that they have a happy hour every day with some really good deals on oysters, and also a drink of the day every day, such as $6 Captain drinks on Saturdays.
With brunch and drinks out of the way, it was time to head back to the beach, but not before making a quick stop by Siesta Key's legendary spot for late night fun, the Beach Club. We'd heard that the Beach Club had undergone a recent renovation, and we gotta say, we were quite impressed. The renovated interior is now much more trendy and modern, while still having a beachy vibe and a stage to host live music. We also found a couple new high-tech vending machines where you can purchase breakfast items, burgers, and even chocolate lava cake.
Now in our first Siesta Key travel guide, we took you to a ton of other spots in the village, but in today's episode, we want to show you the entire island. So we are going to head south, but if you're interested in seeing more businesses in the village, we would recommend watching our first Siesta Key travel guide after this episode. We'll make sure to put a link in the video description below.
Now that you know some of the best spots in the village for food, drinks, and dancing, it's time to get back to the beach. And our third beach stop of the day takes us to the main beach access at Siesta Beach Park, located at 948 Beach Road. With over 900 parking spots and by far the most amenities, this is easily the most popular stretch of beach on Siesta Key. Here you'll find two primary access points, each with its own conveniences, and we're going to show you both of them right now.
So the main lot here on Siesta Key is huge and it's also free, but it does also fill up very quickly. We're here right around 10 a.m. on a Saturday and it's already almost completely full. Thankfully though, we were lucky enough to grab one of the last few spots.
Now we're not saying that if you get here later in the day that you won't find any parking. It's just that you're gonna have to drive around in the parking lot until somebody leaves. These are cars just waiting around for parking.
We should also mention that there are several pay-by-plate parking areas available throughout the island. So on those busy days when the free lots and the street parking spots are all filled up, you should usually be able to find parking in one of the paid lots, although it does tend to be a bit pricey. Back at the main beach access, you'll find a variety of amenities at the north entrance, including the Sand Pavilion concession stand, which offers a variety of food options and both alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. And since alcohol is allowed on Siesta Beach, anything purchased at Siesta Sand Pavilion can be enjoyed out by the water. The Siesta Sand Pavilion area also does offer shaded seating, restrooms, rinse-off stations, beach rentals, and a variety of beach gear and souvenirs for purchase. If you're enjoying this video so far, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button and let us know if you visited Siesta Key in the comments. The north entrance is where you'll also find one of your best Siesta Key photo spots, along with several picturesque trails leading out to the beach. One of those trails is wheelchair accessible, starting with a nice wide boardwalk and transitioning into a beach access mat that runs 450 feet out onto the beach.
Look at all this space.
We should mention that we've been out on Siesta Key on 4th of July weekend, which is probably the busiest the island ever gets, and even then, we had no trouble finding plenty of space on this beach for ourselves. Down closer to the water, visitors will find 4 lifeguard stations on Siesta Beach, which happens to be the only place you'll find lifeguards on all of Siesta Key. And while the water was a comfortable 80 degrees for swimming, the surf was strong and the yellow flag was out, which kept most of the beachgoers out of the water. Just a little further down the beach at the South Siesta Beach access, guests will find the Siesta Sun Deck.
On the south side of Siesta, there's going to be another concession stand, an area with restrooms, but you do have to either climb stairs or go on this really long ramp to get up to the second floor.
In addition to restrooms and concessions, the 2-story pavilion also offers shaded seating and some amazing Siesta Beach views. Concession options are the same as you'll find at the Siesta Sand Pavilion to the north, including an impressive selection of frozen cocktails. Back on the ground, you'll also find picnic tables, a grilling area, a playground, chair and umbrella rentals, and a small stand offering some additional food and drink options. At the south end of Siesta Beach, you'll also find 6 sand volleyball courts and more of the softest white sand that you'll find on any beach in the area. And while the clouds were moving in and the winds were picking up, there was still no shortage of people out enjoying the beach. Now that we've shown you the most popular Siesta Key beach, we're going to take you a few more miles south, where you'll find the far lesser known area known as Turtle Beach.
So we just made it down to Turtle Beach, which is on the far south end of Siesta Key and is a completely different vibe from the north end of Siesta Key. It feels quite a bit less touristy, and it's a great place for outdoorsmen. You can find spots here for fishing, camping, kayaking, and paddleboarding.
And it usually has a really nice beach area, but Turtle Beach is prone to beach erosion. It seems that every several years they do have to bring in sand to restore the beach, which they are in that process right now. So we're not quite sure what the beach looks like, but we're gonna show it to you in a bit.
Now, when we lived in Sarasota, we spent a lot of time down here because it's one of our favorite spots to launch our paddle boards. Now, if you launch in the water right here and actually go about a mile that way to the south, you'll reach Siesta Key, which is one of our favorite paddling destinations because it's a beautiful stretch of beach and has a nice secluded feel.
Now here on Turtle Beach, you'll find that the walk to the water is a lot shorter than the walk on Siesta Beach. But you are also not gonna find that white, soft, powdery sand that you find on Siesta Beach.
We should also note that the far north end of Turtle Beach does have both handicap parking and a wheelchair accessible ramp. And just steps away is a nice new shaded playground area for the kids ages 2 to 12. Restroom facilities are also available just a short walk from the beach, and kayaks and paddleboards can be rented just across the street from the beach on the Intercoastal Waterway. Out on Turtle Beach, we found a large portion of the beach to be fenced off, as the beach renourishment process was clearly in progress.
So the sand here on Turtle Beach is more of a brownish gray color, kind of like what you'll find down on Venice Beach. But as you can see behind me, the sand that they're putting down on this beach is more of a light tannish color. So if you've been to Turtle Beach before, odds are next time you come back, it's gonna look quite a bit different.
Oh yeah, old sand versus new sand.
A lot different.
We learned that the mountain of tan-colored sand was being trucked in from the Lake Wales area, approximately 100 miles northeast of Siesta Key. With over 100 dump trucks of sand being delivered each day, the beach is expected to be widened by 25 to 35 feet by the time the project is completed by the end of June of 2023. While portions of Turtle Beach will remain accessible throughout the restoration project, don't expect the most relaxing beach experience, as the machinery noise is quite loud. While you won't find nearly the variety of food and drink options on the south side of Siesta Key as you will further to the north, there are a couple great options just blocks from Turtle Beach, and one of those is Turtles on Little Sarasota Bay. While this beachy waterfront restaurant does offer an extensive variety of food options, we were here to rehydrate with a couple of cold drinks. Skylar opted for a mango cart wheat beer, and I went with a pineapple juice. Both drinks were cold and refreshing and just what we needed. And while we did enjoy the warm beach vibes that you'll find inside Turtles, we found that our drinks tasted just a little bit better when paired with these waterfront views from the back patio. Now that we've shown you the Turtle Beach area, it's time to head back north, where around the center of the island, you'll find our final beach destination.
We are here at Beach Access 12, which locals will know as the Crescent Beach area, and while there is free parking, it is tight and it is limited. So if you want a spot here, you either have to show up early, get a little bit lucky, or show up on a day that is cloudy and windy like we have done today.
With the clouds now getting darker and the winds really starting to gust, we weren't surprised to find Crescent Beach to be quite empty. And while we would have loved to have a sunny day when Crescent Beach looks more like this than this, even in these less ideal weather conditions, Crescent Beach was still a beautiful place to be.
So we made it out to Crescent Beach, which is between Siesta Beach to the north and Turtle Beach to the south. Now the sand here on Crescent Beach is much more like Siesta Beach because it's white and soft, but the beach itself is narrow, more like Turtle Beach. Now from here you can walk the beach north and you will get to Siesta Beach, but if you try to walk south to Turtle Beach, you're gonna hit the Pointer Rocks.
While we show you a little more of Crescent Beach, we want to know what your favorite part of Siesta Key is. Whether it's a restaurant, a bar, a beach, or something else, let us know in the comments. With the storm getting closer and the sky getting darker, our hopes for a gorgeous Siesta Key sunset were all but gone. But we weren't too disappointed, as just steps from the beach was one of our favorite spots on all of Siesta Key. Here at 1200 Old Stickney Point Road, you'll find Captain Kurt's Crab and Oyster Bar, a laid-back seafood house offering inside dining, an outdoor tiki bar, and one of the best spots to catch some live music on all of Siesta Key. And it just so happened that one of our favorite local musicians was on stage from 6 to 10. We soon found that the tiki bar was the place to be, and there was initially no open tables to be found. But after enjoying a couple drinks at the bar, a table opened up, and we eagerly placed our dinner orders. Skylar went with the pork tenderloin, and I went with the beef knuckle sandwich. Both meals were good, as were the drinks, but it was the music and the atmosphere that kept us at Captain Kurt's till 10. But the storms did eventually roll in, causing the band to take an extended break, creating the perfect opportunity to sneak out for one of my favorite snacks. And as luck would have it, just a block away from Captain Kurt's is Siesta Key's best spot for ice cream. Here at Jake's, guests will find over 20 flavors of ice cream made in-house, plus shakes, smoothies, and coffee. And while we agreed that we could both go for some coffee after a long day on Siesta Key, we opted for 2 scoops of ice cream instead.
So Jake's makes all of its ice cream in-house, and I saw people online were raving about this flavor called Circus Burgers, so we had to try it. We've got it on top here. It's like birthday cake with sprinkles, but also animal crackers. It is really, really good. And the second flavor we got was a cinnamon biscuit, but they really have a lot of delicious flavors to choose from.
The ice cream was amazing and lived up to its rave reviews, and was a great way to cap off a wonderful day on Siesta Key. And while this day on Siesta may be ending, your Florida Gulf Coast travel experience doesn't have to, as you can join us just across the bridge in Sarasota by clicking here right now. Thanks for watching!